We're live on YouTube.
Okay.
Morning, Attorney Murphy.
Morning, Madam Clerk. Sorry about that confusion.
Morning, Attorney Campus.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Today is Monday, June 21st, 2021. Now calling 20 miscellaneous 000038 Roberto DeSantis versus Great Island Plaza, LLC.
Good morning, counsel. Will you identify yourselves for the record, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sean Murphy on behalf of Roberto DeSantis, the plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeannie Campus on behalf of the defendant, Great Island Plaza, LLC.
You have anything you want to discuss before we start? No?
No, Your Honor.
So the plan is finish with Mr. Vitak, and then you have one more witness, Attorney Campus. And then you guys can do closing arguments. I'll do the instructions and then we'll retire. I'm hoping to be able to get back to you by the end of the day today, depending on when we finish. But I'm not gonna, we'll sign off when I'm done instructing, and you'll get an email to come back on when I'm ready to give you the verdict. Does that work?
Yes.
Your Honor, yeah, I have a quick question.
Yes.
How much time or how much leeway are you going to give us to log on again? Is it going to be like 5 minutes log back on, or is it gonna
Well, you tell me. I mean, I can give you a 15-minute warning, a 30-minute warning. I mean, that's a fair question.
I think at least 15 minutes would be helpful.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just procedurally or logistically, I might have to log in from my phone just because I have another matter that I have to physically go into court for today. So I might be calling you in from a clerk's office, but I'll be there with bells on.
Okay, well, that's a true commitment from the two of you that you'll finish this morning, Attorney Murphy, if you have to be somewhere this afternoon, right?
I hope to be done. I thought we were going to be done on Friday, so I think everybody who's got any say was probably on the same page with that as well.
Right.
So I don't think it's any one single person's fault, but
No,
yeah.
I'm sorry. If you thought I was blaming you in particular.
Oh, no, not at all, Your Honor. No, there's other people to be sued and who have been sued, so life goes on. So
This is not the only case either one of you has. I'm shocked.
No.
Well, all right. So are we ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, let's admit Mr. Vitak. Good morning, Mr. Vitak. Are you there?
Good morning.
Just a few reminders. You're still under oath. You understand that?
Yes.
And are you alone? Wherever
Yes.
you are, maybe in your car, I don't know.
I am in a car.
That's all right, as long as you're not driving. And
I tried that, but it wasn't working out.
no. And do you have any materials relating to this case in front of you?
No.
All right. Attorney Murphy, you may continue.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Ketoff. I'll be as brief as I can. Now, you said you did some work on the post office on a wall. Was that outside or inside that you did that?
Outside.
And how long did that job take?
It was only a few days, maybe 2 days or so, 2-3 days.
And which wall was it? If you're looking at
It's the
from
right
Route
side.
28.
It was the right side of the post office building.
And when you say right side, you mean if you were standing on Route 28 looking at the post office?
Correct.
Now in 2000, oh, I'm sorry. And you said that you drove by occasionally to check in on the sites, or you had other jobs in the area, or you just kind of live in the area. Did
Yes.
you ever see anyone maintaining the sidewalk from Mr. DeSantis's property up to Route 28?
Maintaining the sidewalk that's along Winslow Gray.
Yes. Here, I'll show you what I mean. I'm showing you Exhibit 16, slowly but surely. You're not driving, right, sir?
No.
Okay, I don't want to have you stare at an exhibit if you're driving. Okay. This sidewalk here from Mr. DeSantis's property, this is 18 Winslow Gray, all the way to Route 28. Did you ever see anybody maintaining that sidewalk?
No.
Did you ever see any evidence of someone maintaining that, as in it appeared that things had been cut or pruned along that sidewalk?
You mean like as far as landscaping, or?
I believe you kind of cut off, sir. Yeah, was there any remnants of someone maintaining possible overgrowth on the sidewalk from 18 Winslow Gray Road all the way to Route 28?
And this was in what time frame?
Since any time since
Any time
2008.
frame? Yeah, I mean, we did some clearing on 12 Winslow Gray when we worked on the property. It was all overgrown trash, along Winslow Gray also that was picked up. As far as 18 Winslow Gray, I don't think there was anything really done or had to be done along the sidewalk in front of the 18 Winslow Gray.
I'm talking about save for what you did. You mentioned that you had to clear south of the driveway to the house because it was overgrown, correct?
Yeah, even all around the house, basically. There was those shrubs, they were like right on top of the building, so you couldn't even get to it.
Okay. And that was especially bad north of the building to the driveway, correct? That's what you said you had to clear?
Correct.
But save for that, what you did in your years of going by there since 2008, did you ever see any evidence, not done by your crew, but of anyone taking care of the front sidewalk overgrowth, either 18 Winslow Gray or 12 Winslow Gray?
Not anyone that wasn't working for us, no.
Okay. As you're aware of, I don't know if I didn't know the word before this trial. Right here, there's evergreen bushes or trees or whatever you want to call, but they're known as yews. Are you aware of what I'm talking about, sir?
Yes.
And they're at the mouth of 18 Winslow Gray Road as it appears from the road.
Yes.
Did you ever see those maintained at all?
I didn't see anyone working on that property.
You would agree with me, sir, if you never saw anyone working on that the visual from the street into 18 Winslow Gray would only get worse, correct?
Only get worse between like 09 and 2020, or?
Yeah,
Exactly.
between let's say 2008 to 2019. If no one was maintaining it, it would just keep on growing, correct?
Yeah, like I said, I never saw anyone working on that property, and it was densely wooded from what I remember. So I didn't see anybody, cutting or doing anything on that property. I didn't see anybody on that property, period.
So as the year, is it correct, sir, then as the years progressed, it became increasingly more and more difficult as you drove on Winslow Gray Road to see into 18 Winslow Gray Road? Is that your testimony, sir?
I think it was like about the same, or, depending on the season, obviously. I think, some of the shrubs and trees, lose, leaves, and I think it's a little thinner, obviously, I think in the winter time, and, until late spring when everything kind of fills in. So it's hard to tell, but like I said, I didn't see any, anything being really done on that property. So from my recollection.
And that's true to your recollection to evergreens?
Objection.
Overruled.
Sir, is that true to your knowledge about evergreens?
What exactly is the question?
That they would lose, that they would go through fluctuations where they would become thinner just naturally?
Yeah, I think evergreens basically, stay about the same, right, throughout the year.
Is that your knowledge? You
Yes,
tell
it
me.
is.
Okay. Now, you said you went out in 2019 for a survey, correct?
Yes.
And you went with one surveyor at that point in time?
Yeah, I think I've met with one of the field guys in the property.
Did you take any photos during this survey?
In 2019,
Yes, sir.
I may have.
Were you aware that the surveyor took any photos?
No.
Okay. When you went on to 18 Winslow Gray Road the day of the survey, did you have any indication that it was being used by any person other than Miss Rosenberg at all? Let me rephrase, strike that. Let me rephrase that, sir, because it was a little confusing. Prior to you going
Take
to
down the
the,
exhibit, please.
oh, I'm sorry. It's your testimony, sir, that prior to going on 18 Winslow Gray Road in 2019 for the survey, you had no indication that anybody had been using it, correct?
That's correct.
And then once stepping on to 18 Winslow Gray Road, it became apparent to you that there was some use in different fashions, correct?
Objection.
correct.
What's the objection?
He didn't say what year.
2019.
It's not clear what year he's talking about.
Yeah, that's a good question. Are you
Oh,
back on
okay.
2019?
Yeah, 2019.
All right, well, you have to put that in the question.
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was talk about 2019. Sure.
Don't assume that. You know,
When you stepped into 18 Winslow Gray Road for this survey, how many surveys have you done on 18 Winslow Gray Road?
It was just one.
Okay. So when I say survey, you understand that to mean in 2019, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just so we're on the same page. So when you went on to the survey, it became apparent to you while walking around that someone had been using 18 Winslow Gray Road, correct?
That's correct.
And you completed the survey with the surveyor, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't doing any work. So the company did the field work, and then they created a plan.
But you were there.
I was there at some point. Yeah.
And when I say there, I mean physically on 18 Winslow Gray Road, north of the driveway.
Oh yes. During that time, or sometime around that time. Yes.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your answer, sir? From at least from my end, it kind of broke up.
I said I was there, yes, when the survey was being done.
And then you said that you relayed that information to Haya Rosenberg, correct?
Yes,
And she was surprised by this information, correct?
Objection.
Overruled.
And she was surprised by this information, correct?
I don't know if she was surprised. I just told them what I saw.
Did she say at that point in time that she knew that someone was using 18 Winslow Gray Road?
Yeah, I believe she mentioned that Robert had some tomato plants, and I think I don't believe exactly like what how it went down, but I think it was apparent that she knew about it, so it's been there for maybe a couple of years or so.
And but she gave you, okay, strike that. And so she said that she knew that Robert had been using the land at that point in time.
Yes, and she was trying to. I think she reached out to him, and we were trying to have him move the garden because we were trying to put up the fence, and we're in the middle of planning this development. So, that's what I know.
Oh, go ahead. I just want to be very clear about your testimony.
Mhm.
The very first time you contacted Ms. Rosenberg after doing the survey, you reported that there was someone it appeared that someone was using 18 Winslow Gray Road, correct?
Yes.
And then she responded in that conversation that Robert DeSantis had been using that land. Is that your testimony, sir?
I don't remember exactly what the words were, but it was she was aware that he had the garden on the property, and I think she said that he was basically looking out for the property, and she let him put up a garden like in that something along those lines. So,
And
but
she
I
mentioned
think I think she wanted him to remove the garden also, and I think she asked him to actually get rid of the garden at that point because we were trying to basically develop the property.
So she said in that initial conversation that she was aware of Robert DeSantis using it, and that she was working with Robert DeSantis to move the garden.
Yes.
And this survey was done on behalf of Miss Rosenberg. Miss Rosenberg instructed you to do this, correct?
Yes.
Did you know Robert DeSantis up until that point in time?
No.
At that point in time, did you believe that whoever was living at 24 Winslow, you were aware that there was a residence at 24 Winslow Gray Road, correct?
Yes.
Did you believe through walking around 18 Winslow Gray Road at the date of the survey, did you believe that whoever was occupying 24 Winslow Gray Road was the one that was using it?
I don't know.
You don't know either way?
I don't know because I've never seen anyone on that property, so it would be my natural guess, but like I said, I've never seen anyone on the property, so I couldn't definitely tell, who was, at that property until Ms. Rosenberg told me that Robert had the garden over there.
And what was it, prior to speaking to Ms. Rosenberg about it, what was it that you said it was your natural guess that the person who was on 24 Winslow Gray Road had been using it? What would be the one that would be using it? What observations did you make to make that assumption?
Objection, that's a loaded question. Can you see me? Sorry, everything on my screen is frozen.
Oh, really? Because you're frozen, Attorney Campus.
Yeah, I can't, everybody's frozen on mine, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Can we
so I
take
think it might
Quick
be you.
break, and I
Let-
can try logging back.
Why
Do you
don't you log off and log back on again?
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right. We'll pause for a few minutes.
Your Honor, while we're waiting, may I just step out of the room and just get a drink? I realize it's in the other.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Is
I'm so sorry about that.
All right, so that's all right. Attorney Murphy, rephrase your question and you can start again.
What led you to assume that it was whoever's occupying 24 Winslow Gray Road that was using 18 Winslow Gray Road on the day of the survey?
Well, there'll be just assumption since the Mr. DeSantis is, a direct abutter, like in the vicinity of their garden. So there's there's nobody else anywhere around that area. That plus it was fenced off, so you couldn't really get to it from the plaza side. So the only access really to that property was, either directly from Winslow Gray or from, back of the property from Mr. DeSantis or the other neighbors. So, but since it was overgrown back in the day, further east, that was just my assumption.
And now, you remember in or around May of this year, you signed an affidavit about your relationship with 18 Winslow Gray Road after the fence was extended to encapsulate part of it. Do you remember that, sir?
Yes.
And I believe, used the word that you were in charge of monitoring the property. Is that correct?
Yes, we had ongoing, plans and development underway.
And you submitted 2 sets of photos, correct? With that affidavit?
Yeah, I didn't submit it, but yes.
Sure, fair enough. But you took 2 sets of photos that were submitted with the affidavit,
Yes.
correct? Other than, and I believe, and I'm not trying to trick you, so correct me if I'm wrong on the dates here. I believe one was, the latter one was in May of, what was it, 2021?
Yeah, I believe so.
And the other was in fall of 2020, correct?
Right.
And so the photos compare and contrast the differences at those approximate times, correct, sir?
Right.
And you were told to take those photos by Ms. Rosenberg, is that correct?
I didn't take those photos. Which photos in 2020 or
Okay, well,
this
let's
year?
break
or-
it down. The ones you took in 2020, who told you to take those photos?
In 2020. Can you show me the photos that we're
Sure.
talking about?
Of course. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Attorney Campus, but I believe these are the ones that are the older ones.
I think it's 34.
34. Yep. So 34. Sir, I'm showing you exhibit 34A. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
And 34B, do you see that, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And 34D, you see that, sir?
Yes.
After seeing those photos, does that refresh your recollection on who told you to take those photos?
No, we were just taking photos of the property.
Who's we?
Well, I was so this was in May 2020.
Yes, sir.
No,
No, what, March?
no, this is the October one.
Okay, October 2020.
Yeah, so there was, yeah, like I said, I didn't take these pictures. I don't know what. I don't recall taking these pictures. Who did you get these from?
Your attorney? Oh, no, your attorney Campus.
Well,
Yes.
remember, Mr. Vitak, the attorneys ask the questions, you just answer them.
Okay.
If you don't know something, you don't know, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If you didn't take the photos, you didn't take them, that's fine.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just need to
yeah.
say them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. If you don't know. So, but you were still in charge of monitoring 18 Winslow Gray Road at this point in time, correct?
I wasn't in charge. I was involved with the project and I was going to the site. Yes.
Okay. Now I'm showing you exhibit 35. And this is 35A. Have you seen this before, sir?
Yes.
Did you take this photo?
I didn't take this photo,
Okay, let me just
but I
go
was,
through this real quick.
I was there.
You were there when this was taken.
Yes.
Who took the photo?
I think Attorney Campus.
Okay. How'd you get into the fenced-in area?
To the gate.
Do you know who moved these items?
Who moved these items?
Yes, do you know who moved these
Hold on.
items?
Sustained, you have to be more specific.
Sure.
about items.
In your affidavit, sir, did you not say that items had been moved, like the sifter and this wheelbarrow?
Objection.
What's the objection?
Well, that's not what the affidavit says. Why doesn't he show him the affidavit if he's
You're
gonna
gonna need
quote
to
what he
show them the
said?
affidavit. There's some
Okay,
dispute
fair enough.
about the affidavit.
All right, let's start off with this. Right off the bat. So let's go up here first. And this, you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I do.
This is affidavit of Jan Kietov. That's your name?
Yes.
And it says right here, I, Jan Kietov, depose and say as follows. Do you see where it says that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All the way down here is a signature. Electronic signature. That's your electronic signature, sir?
Yes, it is.
And for the record, I'm showing you page 5 of this affidavit. Okay. So right off the bat, paragraph 5, it says, on behalf of Miss Rosenberg, you see where I'm reading, sir?
Yes.
On behalf of Miss Rosenberg, I've been monitoring the property, which I understand is the subject of this adverse possession case filed by plaintiff Roberto DeSantis. You see where it says that?
Yes.
Did I read that correctly, sir?
Yes.
So have you been monitoring the property or no?
Yes.
When did you start monitoring the property?
I was all on the property past 3 years
Okay.
and before that, but basically on weekly, if not daily basis at some point, during past 3 years.
Should we mark that for identification if you're gonna use it? I mean, was submitted with the motion, but
Yeah, it's
since we.
whatever's easiest for you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll mark that as A3, I think, for identification, the affidavit. You may continue.
All right, sir, you see my screen, sir?
Yes.
And on the screen, you see this red
Yes.
plastic thing, whatever it is,
It's exhibit 34D.
34D. I didn't say that. I'm sorry, Your Honor. 34D. Right here is this red plastic thing. It's on it appears to be on the easterly side of the fence, correct?
Correct.
And then right here is this tree stump, correct? You see this tree
Yes.
stump? And there's nothing on it, correct? There's nothing leaning against it, correct?
No, I don't see anything against it now.
You see the photo I'm showing you right now, which is 35A, correct?
Yes.
And you see this red plastic thing, correct?
Yes.
And that's on the enclosed portion of 18 Winslow Gray Road, correct?
Yes.
Do you know who moved that to the other set, to the enclosed portion of the fence?
No.
Are you aware of
Oh,
anybody in,
What was it enclosed before? I forget now from the picture before. That was before the fence was moved, or? No, it was already after the fence was moved, right?
it was on the back of there was a fence, and it was on the
Yeah.
easterly portion of the fence.
Yeah, so it was on the other side of the fence, and it got moved onto the inside.
It appears from comparison of these two photos, it appears that way.
Yeah, right.
Do you
Yeah,
know
like I
who
said,
moved it?
I don't know who moved it. No.
Are you aware of anybody instructing someone to move it?
Nope.
Are you aware of this green wheelbarrow? You see this green wheelbarrow?
I saw it, yes, when I was on.
Do you
On the
know of
property.
anybody? Do you know of anybody moving that green wheelbarrow?
I don't know who put it in there. No.
Are you aware of anybody instructing anybody to move that green wheelbarrow?
Nope.
Generally speaking, in your duties to monitor 18 Winslow Gray Road following the fence being moved to encapsulate portions of 18 Winslow Gray Road, how often have you been to 18 Winslow Gray Road to make observations of it?
It was several times a week during 2020. As it was a little bit less once the permitting went through. It was a little bit less after that.
Did you take any photos during those visits?
I may have. I don't remember.
Did you ever go with someone else other than Attorney Campus?
On the property?
To monitor the property?
Well, I was there with different people at different occasions, right? Different professionals between 2019 and 2021. Yes,
Did they ever take photos of 18 Winslow Gray Road?
it's possible.
Did you ever see them move it? How many people have you strike that? Since 2019, when the fence was moved to encapsulate portions of 18 Winslow Gray Road, how many people have been inside that fence to your knowledge?
I don't know. Could have been dozen different professionals. We had engineers. We had well drillers on site. They were drilling observation wells around the property for 21E monitoring. There was civil engineers. There were my subcontractors, excavation company that was doing the clearing in early 19. So
How many people have a key to the gate, to your knowledge?
it wasn't locked. We just had it closed with a wire so people can get in and out.
When was the first time you became aware of Robert DeSantis?
I think it was when I first heard his name, or what exactly is the question?
The question is, when did you first become aware of Robert DeSantis?
Probably in 2008-9 when we did the compiled plan. I became aware that there's a neighbor with that name
How did you become aware of that?
because we did research on the property and all the abutters and neighboring lots.
Other than that, did you ever meet him?
I've seen him once. I never met him in person.
Did you ever call him?
Nope.
Prior to 2019, the day you relayed what you saw on the survey to Ms. Rosenberg, did you ever hear Ms. Rosenberg reference Mr. DeSantis?
Yeah, I mean, she spoke about him, yes. Like she was in contact with him and, you know, I'm not exactly sure to the extent of, you know, all the conversations, obviously. I wasn't present.
And so when she said Robert DeSantis is using that land, you knew who that was based on her prior.
I knew that was the neighbor, right, next door. Yep.
No, but did you know it because he was the neighbor next door, or did you know it because of her conversations with you?
Yeah, well, that was him definitely using that property. It was from her, yes.
Okay.
So it was my assumption, and it seemed like she knew that, you know, he had some garden on the property.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Okay, redirect, Attorney Campus.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Vitak, you were asked a lot about how the front of the property looked throughout the years. And I just want to clarify, how frequently were you physically at the Great Island Plaza properties between 2011 and 2018?
It could have been at least 20 to 50 times in between that time.
During those years?
Right. On the property in general, but I you know, drove around and, you know, probably more times than that. Not really looking for anything in particular.
Did you ever walk by 18 Winslow Gray Road during those years?
Not on foot, no.
Right.
Because that would have to be on the sidewalk, Winslow Gray. No, I didn't walk that road.
Okay. And when you drove by, were you looking for anything in particular at 18 Winslow Gray Road during those years?
So I will take a look and just see if there's something like out of ordinary, maybe a trash, or if I see maybe a door or plywood taken off the 12 Winslow Gray. That was like the main things, because people used to just break into that place. We boarded up that entire house, but there was always people trying to get in, and they were squatting inside that building. So that was my main area where I would kind of look and see what's going on there, just to make sure it's not open and nobody's getting in. So I wasn't really looking for anything in on 18 Winslow Gray per se, because it would just look wooded to me. So I didn't see any major trash or anything, or any trash around that property.
And that was that, what years was that during?
This was since 09, I believe, yeah.
Okay. Now, you were asked about photos taken in the fall of 2020 and in May of 2021. You testified that you didn't know who took the photos in the fall of 2020, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what, who those photos came from exactly.
And did you have an opportunity to look at those photos before you signed your affidavit?
Yeah, I think I've seen them, yeah.
And were you physically on the site at 18 Winslow Gray in the fall of 2020?
I was on site, yes.
Were the photographs at Exhibit 34 true and accurate depictions of what the site looked like in the fall of 2020 based on your memory?
Yes.
And you
Yes, I just don't recall exactly like who took them or what day those were taken, or where they were who they basically came from. So I'm not exactly sure. So,
but are they true and accurate depictions of your recollection of the site in the fall of 2020?
Yes.
All right. And same with the May 2021 photos. I think
Yes,
you testified you didn't take those either, correct?
yes. I think I may have taken some pictures, but I think it was you, right? That documented the whole thing.
It was me. Did we meet on site together in May of
Yes.
2021?
Yes,
And we walked the site, didn't we?
yes,
Did the site look different to you in 2021 than it did in fall of 2020?
yes,
Did it look different to you than it did in the fall of 2019?
yes,
Were there items on the site that had been placed there that were not there when you enclosed the site in 2019?
yes. To my best recollection, yes,
Were there items on the site that had not been there since you had been there in the fall of 2020?
yes,
And you testified you did not place any items on the site, correct?
correct.
Did I place any items on the site when I was with you in May?
No, I
Did
actually did.
anyone?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you can finish.
No, I was just saying when the fence was moved to the outside edge of the 18 Winslow, we there were some items right on basically on the lot line that were moved over to Mr. DeSantis's yard. That's what I just remembered that. So we could actually put up the fence.
And those items before where were they located?
Like they were around the edge of the property, so they were basically in the way.
Okay. They were on the property line shared with Mr. DeSantis?
Yes,
And did you move any items from one location to another within the site at any time? Besides when you put up the fence?
no,
2019?
we didn't move anything. I mean, I had my guys over doing the extending the fence, but we didn't really touch anything. So we just put up the fence, and I don't recall, anybody mentioning anything, or there was no reason to really move anything other way, other than what was in the way of the fence.
Did I move anything in May of 2021 when I was with you?
Nope.
Now, we got through the fence, you said through the gate, right?
Yes.
There's not really a gate, is there?
Oh, it's a panel section of the fence that can be opened.
I remember it from the view, if that's what you want to ask about.
Yeah. Mr. Vitak, how easy is it when the fence is wired shut to get into the fence?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Mr. Vitak, did someone on your behalf open up the fence in advance of the site view?
When Judge was coming over,
Yes.
yeah, I sent my manager to open the fence.
It's not normally that open that we saw at the site view, is it?
Yeah, it's wired shut, so there's no chain or a lock on it.
I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice any other openings in the fence at any other location?
No,
All right. Do you have any reason to think that any of the people who were on the site with you ever placed any items on the site?
no,
Do you have any reason to believe that any of the people with you had any reason to move items within the
No.
site?
no,
Are any of the items in the site yours?
no,
Are any of the items in the site someone else's? Or one of your guys' items?
no.
I don't have any further questions.
Briefly, Your Honor.
Yeah.
talked about people being on site, having access to the fenced-in area after 2019. Do you remember that? Just talk about that.
Yes.
Was there, and there was work done on the outside of 12 Winslow Gray property when it comes to the yard, correct?
Correct.
And that was cleared essentially?
Objection.
That's beyond the scope of the redirect.
Well, I'm gonna get to, okay.
We'll get there now.
Okay. Are you, what kind of, were wheelbarrows and things like that used during that work?
No, not that I know of. There was just heavy equipment, excavators.
Okay. And no further questions, Your Honor. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vitak. You're done. You can sign off.
All right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call your next witness.
Your Honor, the defendant calls Ms. Heather Ross.
Okay.
I admitted her.
Ms. Ross, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter before the court?
yes, I do.
Would you state your name, please?
Heather Ross.
You can put your hand out. Ms. Ross, are you alone in the room where you are?
I am.
Do you have any materials from this case in front of you?
No,
Okay, thank you. You may proceed, Attorney Campos.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Ross.
good morning.
Can you please spell your last name for the record?
Yes, ROSS
Where do you live, Ms. Ross?
at 3311 Main Street, Barnstable, Mass.
What do you do for a living, Ms. Ross?
I'm a real estate appraiser.
What company do you work for?
Cape Cod and Islands Appraisal Group.
How long have you been an appraiser?
Over 30 years.
And how long have you been with the Cape Cod Appraisal Group, Cape Cod Islands Appraisal Group?
About 20 years.
All right. Are you familiar with the property located at 18 Winslow Gray Road in West Yarmouth?
Yes,
How are you familiar with that property?
I prepared an appraisal on it.
When was that, if you recall?
It was in May of 2017.
Did you visit the site at 18 Winslow Gray in connection with your appraisal?
Yes, I did.
Who hired you to do that appraisal?
Haya Rosenberg.
Is it your understanding that she was one of the owners of the property at that time?
Correct.
How many times did you visit 18 Winslow Gray Road?
Once.
Do you recall the date on which you visited?
Yes, it was May 1st, 2017.
Do you remember your visit to the property that day in May of 2017?
Yes,
Do you recall anything specific about that day?
well, it was raining.
Did you walk into the site at 18 Winslow Gray on May 1st, 2017?
Yes,
Where did you park when you were there?
I parked off of Route 28 where the Rosenberg's commercial building was located.
And did you walk to the site from there?
Correct.
How did you walk to get there?
We walked along, I was with Haya, and we walked along the sidewalk.
Okay. How did you enter the site?
From the road frontage on Winslow Gray.
Do you recall what the site looked like when you were standing on the sidewalk looking in?
Yes, it was a vacant lot.
Did you notice any vegetation along the road?
Yes, there was grass and some evergreen shrubs. There was nothing distinctive about the vegetation.
All right. You said you walked into the site. Do you know approximately how far you walked into the site from the road?
My estimate, my best recollection is it was about 10 to 15 feet, partially because it was raining.
Do you mean by that you didn't walk further into the site because it was raining?
Correct.
Did you observe the site from any other vantage points besides Winslow Gray Road?
Yes, when I first arrived at the property and parked off of Route 28, I just briefly viewed that lot from a distance.
What did you observe from a distance?
That it looked like a typical vacant lot.
Now you said you described it as a vacant lot. Was there vegetation on the lot?
Correct.
What kind of vegetation did you see?
It was, there was grass, there were trees. It did not appear to me to be cultivated in any way. It was, when I say a vacant lot, it indicates that there was no shed, there was no structure on the lot.
You mentioned you saw grass. Did you see a lawn on the property?
No,
Did you notice any fencing on the property at that time?
I did.
Can you describe that for me?
Yes, there was wooden fencing that was on the, between the Rosenberg's lot and the northerly abutter. It was fairly substantial. I assume they had gotten a permit to install the fencing from the town. For me, it delineated the lot line.
Was it a solid fence?
Correct, it was a solid wooden fence.
How far back did it go along that shared property line, if you recall?
I don't recall.
Did you see any other, did you see any vegetation delineating that lot line as well?
No, not really.
Now, when you were there in May of 2017, did you see any evidence of a garden?
No,
Did you see any vegetables on the 18 Winslow Gray lot?
no,
Did you see any other plantings? And by that, I mean not like natural vegetation, but any vegetation that looked either decorative or planted.
no,
Did you see any bamboo stakes?
no,
Did you see any flowers?
no,
Did you see any stacked wood?
no.
Did you see any gardening equipment?
Well, there was some kind of a black bucket.
Where was that located on the property?
That was, I don't know how many feet into the property, but it looked like it was about, near the rear of the lot. It was just a miscellaneous item, in my opinion.
Did you see any shovels on the lot?
No,
Any sifters?
nope,
Any wheelbarrows?
no,
Any ladders?
no,
Did you see a hammock stand on the property?
no,
Did you see a fire pit stand?
no.
I'm gonna show you a few exhibits.
For some reason, I'm not getting photos here.
Well, hold on a sec. I'm just bringing it up. Do you see my screen now?
No, and I don't know why, because I'm not good at this technology.
So you don't see a photograph on the screen?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
X out of it, turn to campus and try again. X out of the photograph.
All right.
You see a photograph now?
No, I'm afraid I don't. But if it is permissible, I can refer to the exhibits that I printed out.
Oh, you do have stuff for the case in front of you.
No, it's in the other room, but I could retrieve it and refer to the appropriate documents via paper.
Counsel, any objection to that?
As long as it's clear that we're talking about the same thing, that's fine.
Well, yeah, we would have to make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent her, I think we were supposed to send all the witnesses exhibits. So that's what I
Okay,
did.
so yes, Ms. Ross, why don't you go get those?
Okay. Okay.
So,
Ross, can you please turn to trial exhibit 27? And then if you could tell me what you see so we can make sure that this is the same photograph that we're looking at as the one you're looking at.
Yes. This is what I would call the front view. This is the view into this parcel from the street. And it shows the evergreens, and it shows the fencing on the left-hand side.
Is that the wooden fencing that you were
Correct.
talking about? And did you
Correct.
take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
What day did you take this photograph?
This would have been May 1st, 2017.
Is this a true and accurate photo of what it looks like on that day?
Yes.
All right.
Can we be seen at sidebar? I just have a quick question here.
sure. Hold on, Ms. Ross. We'll be back in a second.
No, you can't do that.
Ms. Ross, oh, sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Ms. Ross, can you please turn to trial exhibit 29?
Yes.
Can you please describe what you're looking at so we can confirm that we're both looking at the same thing?
Yes, this is a photo of the southerly lot line, and you can see of the subject lot, and you can see the Rosenberg building on the right-hand side of the photograph. So this is looking in general along that southerly lot line between the two Rosenberg properties.
All right. Do you see a chain link fence in this photo?
Yes,
Okay. I think we're looking at the same one. Did you also take this photograph?
yes, I did.
When did you take it?
May 1st, 2017.
And is this a true and accurate depiction of what the site looked like?
Yes,
The southerly portion of the site as of that date?
correct.
All right. I just have a couple more. Can you please turn to trial exhibit 31, Ms. Ross?
Yes.
And can you please describe for me what you are looking at?
This is a photo of the Rosenberg lot, and it shows the interior of the lot.
And which direction are you facing when you're looking at this?
I'm facing east,
All right. Did you take this photograph as well?
correct?
And this is a true and accurate depiction of how the property looked on May 1st, 2017?
Yes.
All right. One more. Can you please turn to trial exhibit 32?
Yes.
And then can you please describe what you're looking at so we can again confirm that it's the same photo?
Yes, this is I would say the center of the lot, and it's looking from west to east. And visible in the photo is the chain link fence.
Okay. Did you take this photograph as well?
Correct.
Now, do you see snow fencing at all in exhibit 32?
Yes, I do.
Do you recall seeing that when you were there in May of 2017?
Truthfully, from 2017, I can't recall it through memory, but I can confirm it through the photograph.
Did you make anything of the snow fencing?
No.
Why not?
Objection. Relevance.
Overruled.
Snow fencing is a miscellaneous item. It's a temporary, from an appraisal standpoint, it had.
Objection.
What's
She's
your-
testifying as an expert.
Oh,
No, she's not. She's testifying about why she didn't disregarded it.
Okay.
We're not here to assess her appraisal, so I don't think she's overruled. You may complete your answer, Ms. Ross.
thank you. It's not a permanent structure. It's a miscellaneous item.
Do you notice the tree stump in the foreground of exhibit 32?
Yes.
Did you make anything of that?
No.
Why not?
Ms. Ross?
Yes, I didn't make anything of it because it wasn't a significant feature.
And then, you see there's like a concrete block kind of in the center of the photograph at Exhibit 32.
Yes,
Did you make anything of that item?
no, I did not.
Why not?
It was not a significant feature.
And you testified earlier you recalled a black barrel type object, is that correct?
Yes,
Is that the item we see kind of in the rear of this photograph at Exhibit 32 in the back?
yes,
Did you make anything of that?
no.
Why not?
It was a miscellaneous temporary item.
When you were at the property in 2017, did you observe any adverse conditions?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you observe, when you were at the property, did you observe any encroachments?
Objection.
Sustained. These call for legal conclusions, Attorney Campus. I think you need to.
All right, I'll rephrase. Sorry. Ms. Ross, when you were at the property, did you did you observe any evidence of use by someone else other than the Rosenbergs at this property?
Objection. Lack of foundation.
I'm afraid I don't understand that one.
Don't understand the question or understand the objection?
The objection. I'm sorry.
She hasn't testified to any use of the Rosenbergs.
Oh, I can rephrase.
Okay, yeah.
Ms. Ross, when you were at the property in May 2017, did it look to you like anyone was using the property at 18 Winslow Gray Road?
No,
All right, I don't have any further questions. I'll take this one.
Attorney Murphy.
Yes. Hello, Ms. Ross. How are you?
well,
Good. I'm just going to ask you very brief questions, ma'am. From this, when you did the appraisal, it was for all of Great Island Plaza, correct? It wasn't just 18 Winslow Gray Road? Let me, oh, you
no,
can't
this
see.
is an appraisal question, and I have certain restrictions on disclosing fiduciary information. I mean, we're talking about 18 Winslow.
Okay.
Well, you know, the attorney for your client is sitting right here, and if she doesn't object, you can answer the question.
Thank you. Yes,
Were these the photos that Attorney Campus asked you about? Were those the only photos taken of 18 Winslow Gray Road that day?
yes,
And you said you've been doing this for 20 years or so, correct?
over 20 years.
Over 20. Typically, how large is well, strike that. An appraisal report, it's a pretty beefy document. You agree with me, ma'am?
Objection.
That's a little vague. One man's beefy as another man. Usually, I don't know, but
All right. How many, there's multiple sections to an appraisal report, correct, ma'am?
Yes, there are.
And you try to be as detailed as possible, correct, ma'am?
Yes,
And you go into not only land, the value of land, but also if there's any structures on the properties, you detail those as well, correct?
yes,
I'm gonna object on the relevance. She testified to what she saw.
well, I you know, it's just cross. I'll let him go on for a while, but again, Ms. Ross isn't here for any expert opinion, and I
No,
didn't
I
take any of
understand,
her
Your Honor. Don't
testimony.
worry. It's
I'm-
gonna
I'm-
come up in closing. You're gonna love it, Your Honor.
Quite a teaser, counsel. All right, go ahead.
Now, and obviously we're talking about 5 or 6 parcels here. It would go into detail on all of those parcels as much as you could at that point in time, correct?
Objection. She's not answering. She's here about 18 Winslow. To the extent he's going to ask her what she did for other parcels, it's not relevant. And if she has restrictions, I'm going to object to this.
Counsel, I really,
You said it's in a sidebar.
let's go to sidebar. You may continue, counsel.
How many appraisals have you done since May 2017? Approximately.
Objection on the relevance.
Oh, I know where he's going with this. Overruled.
I don't know. Hundreds.
In the photo, you have no specific memory of once taking the photos, moving any further east into 18 Winslow Gray Road. Do you?
Ask that question again, please.
Sure. You testify you took photos. We've seen the photos, correct?
Correct.
Once you took the photos, did you move any further into 18 Winslow Gray Road, or is that as far as you went in?
That's as far as I went in.
No further questions, Your
Attorney Campus.
I'm all set, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you.
So why don't we, all right, I guess Attorney Campus.
Oh, thanks. I'm all set.
And
I have
that
no
means-
further witnesses.
Does that mean you rest?
Yes.
Okay. So Attorney Murphy, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So let's take let's come back at 10:35 and then you can do your closing arguments. Attorney Campus will go first and then Attorney Murphy. Okay?
Why do I go first?
Because generally the practice in civil trials in Massachusetts is the defendant does their closing first and then the plaintiff. Am I wrong? That's how I
No.
do.
I don't know. I guess I haven't done enough closings.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless we're doing it federal style where I go twice, but
No,
I wasn't prepared to do that.
no.
No, I don't want you to do that. Sorry, I clearly,
that's-
I'm sorry.
You do too many trials in the land court, counsel. That's a problem.
I guess so.
All right. So yes, that's how we're going.
All right.
So come back at 10:35.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.